Howdy folks, I'm Popular Polonium, properly posting pretty pottery photos,
I'm Amber. Oh, I'm Release Day Amber.
and here are more pretty pottery photos for us to post. Amber is very excited because today her short story comes out, so I know that Mary said that she got a copy of it, so hopefully you enjoy that, Mary. And let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Publicly Humiliating My Sister-in-Law? I'm a 30s female. I got married to my husband, a 30s male, this July. Our wedding theme was fairy court. We only invited close family and friends and asked that they wear jewel tone dresses and suit jackets. The wedding was sort of in a forest. We also took photos with almost everyone, not just the wedding party, which only consisted of a best man and a maid of honor. My sister-in-law, mid-20s, showed up in a bluish pink dress and her boyfriend in a cream suit jacket. She thought that it would make her pop, I guess. She's an attention seeker by testimony of everyone but her mom. Joke's on her. My dress was gold and shimmery, and my husband was in an emerald green jacket. Also, I was wearing a full-on crown, no mistaking who the bride was. When the photographer asked me if she should Photoshop them a bit to make them blend in more, since we went with a dramatic photo style that emphasizes the deep jewel tones and the darkest of the forest, I told her not to bother. Make them look nice, but don't change the colors or anything like that. Well, I received photos 4 days ago, and I posted some of them on my Instagram, and most of them on Facebook, since most of our older relatives still use it exclusively. And they, sister-in-law and boyfriend, looked so out of place. They were almost washed out. Then, she had the nerve to comment on my post. It was very passive-aggressive, something along the lines of washing her out to make myself stand out more. I replied by saying that she washed herself out by ignoring the wedding theme. She deleted her comment. But then, we met last night at my in-laws. It was an accident, not planned or anything. She said pretty much the same thing, and I repeated that she washed out the photo style because we chose to emphasize dark colors. That's why we asked people to wear jewel tones. It escalated, and I ended up telling her that she looked like garbage in our photos, her complaint, because she was a jealous little woman who thought that she could upstage me in a $30 dress the color of diluted Pepto. She started crying and left. Now my mother-in-law says I owe sister-in-law an apology for publicly shaming her, as well as insulting her looks. So am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, I don't think OP did anything that mother-in-law is saying. It's not public humiliation to post a wedding photo that hasn't been intentionally sabotaged.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally how cameras operate. You know, we have that issue when I wear really dark colors. Everything else gets a little washed out because the camera, like, it has a hard time focusing on both dark and light.
Yeah. So I don't think that OP was intending on coming across rude here. I think that they kept getting pushed into a corner and in the conversation. And she was saying that, from what I'm reading here, it sounded like OP was saying that the reason why she looked bad in the photos, and she was trying to stress this, is because she wore this stuff. And now maybe she could have been a little nicer about the dress color and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. Pepto-Bismol isn't even like a bad looking color, right?
No, it's a perfectly fine color. And so this is like one of those situations where OP just can't win. Everyone except for his sister-in-law and mother-in-law acknowledges this.
Mm-hmm.
So of course mother-in-law is going to act like OP is a jerk because she doesn't accept that her daughter is an attention hog.
Yeah, I think this again, she is the one who chose to not adhere to the dress code. And the reason why, if you're doing a bunch of photos with jewel tone photo colors, and then somebody pops in something that isn't a dark jewel tone, then they're going to stand out in a way that might cause them to get washed out. So I feel that this was just a matter of OP making the best out of a situation, and they didn't even say anything mean to the sister-in-law. They
Right.
just posted the photos.
Well, and if OP had photoshopped sister-in-law, what do you want to bet that she would have been like, you just can't handle me being prettier than you. Like, why do you
Yeah,
Photoshop my dress? Yada,
yeah,
yada, yada.
it would have happened one way or another. She was just looking to pick a fight. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And KeyAd8081 says, question, did you specify the type of jewel tone, cool, warm, etc.? because if not, she may have thought that the following dress was in part of the dress code. Some pinks are also jewel tone inspired by things like quartz. Given the fairy theme, there may also have been association of pink with that too, because many flowers are pink. Nor is pink a commonly used color to upstage a bride at weddings. So, are we sure that this wasn't a misunderstanding rather than a deliberate act to attempt to upstage you? Have you guys tried having a civil conversation, or do you both always approach each other heated? And OP replies, it was specified. It literally said dark, rich, and deep jewel tones. So I think it's really hard to deny OP's effort to make sure that everyone dressed in dark clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And Lady Taroki says, everyone's a jerk. All of you adults. I'll remind you. Why is everyone making such a big deal of petty issues and details for something that was meant to be a happy occasion? Collectively, move the Fae on. And OP replies, nice pun. Like I said, I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't even mention her, nor did I only post photos of her. But I'm not the type of person to let comments slide, and I didn't like her insinuating that I asked the photographer to make her look bad on purpose, to make myself feel better. And Lady Taroki says, so you are making a big deal out of this. Where do you see this going at this rate? They're your in-laws forever, see? And Obi replies, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. My husband has bigger fights with his family almost every other week, and I tend to stay very scant from them. I only asked if, in the event of me being a jerk, only blinded with some sort of Bridezilla-esque madness, I would apologize to her. And Sloppy Poopy Poppy says, not the jerk. You did not insult her looks. You told her that the color of the dress was a bad choice, and that you were aware that she chose it to stand out from everyone else. B, you already told them the dress code, and they chose to wear their own thing. Whilst I'm not necessarily for imposed dress codes at a wedding outside of the regular expectations, smart, casual, cocktail, black, white, tie, no white, etc., the fact that they looked washed out in the photos is down to their choice of clothing, not the photographer or you. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Admitting That I Paid for Our Big Vacation? I'm a 33-year-old female and my boyfriend is a 37-year-old male, and we went on a big beach vacation that we've been planning with the two of our other couple friends for a little while. I make significantly more money than my boyfriend. I'm a nurse practitioner, he's a barista, and because of this, he thinks it's fair that I pay for most things. I have no problem with this, as I love doing fun things with him. So we're on our big vacation and having dinner at a nice restaurant, and one of his friends mentions how lucky I am to have a partner who takes care of me. I asked what he meant, and apparently my boyfriend told his friends that he paid for the whole trip, alone with all the other fun things that we do. Concerts, nice meals, and other vacations. Totally surprised, I said that I pay for everything. My boyfriend got flustered and left the table. He was angry with me for the rest of the trip. Later in our room, he told me that I made him look like a beta, and I had no right embarrassing him like that. Am I the jerk? I was just telling the truth. Edited for a missing word, and also thanks for everyone telling me that the beta thing is a red flag. I had to look up what it meant after he said it. Thank you again for all the comments, giving me something to think about. Alright folks, what do you think of this one?
No, I don't think Opie's a jerk. I mean, like she said, she was just setting the record straight. He was perfectly willing to take credit for all of OP's hard work to make himself look good.
Yeah.
Like, if he wants to get credit for paying for things, he can save up his money and pay for things.
Yeah. And this also seems like a really poor plan for him to just go around spouting these things. Did he think this was never going to come back around and bite him in the butt? So I don't know what he was thinking here. And, I mean, you don't have to be the sole breadwinner in a relationship. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. It doesn't mean... I mean, I think it comes from kind of an antiquated idea that the person who's earning the most money is in charge of the relationship and essentially is the person who's in command and whatnot. And I think that's kind of antiquated at this point in time, right?
It's absolutely antiquated. And, you know, again, like, For him to be trying to take credit for all of your hard work and expecting you to pay for everything. Like, it's not like he's trying to pay for things. He expects Opie to foot the bill, but then he wants all the credit.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly would reconsider this relationship as a whole. Are there other instances where he's being selfish and trying to make himself look better than he actually is?
Well, and then on top of this, like the whole idea of taking credit is just bizarre, anyways, right? Because it's not like OP is going around bragging to everyone how she's paying for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't doing this for an ego inflation. She's doing it because she cares about her partner and wants him to be able to enjoy experiences as well. And he doesn't want the same for her,
Mm-hmm.
right? He wants the bragging rights. He wants to be able to say that, oh, I'm affording all these things, right? When it's not what's important in a relationship, right? Certainly, it's good to appreciate that somebody is providing in a relationship. I'm not saying it isn't, but it shouldn't be the, something to fight about or brag about or anything like
Right.
that.
And the weird obsession that we have culturally with who makes the most money and who's paying for things is very strange because there are all kinds of ways to contribute to a relationship beside monetarily.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our last letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Telling My Cousin's Girlfriend That I Was on My Period? To preface this, I'm a 23-year-old female and my cousin, a 25-year-old male, have always been really close. We are both only children and grew up 3 houses down from each other. When we were younger, we started this tradition of having a movie marathon once a month. We are both huge nerds. Today, we live about an hour away from each other in different cities, but we've kept up our tradition. We take turns holding a movie marathon day and night, and this time it was my cousin's turn to host it. My cousin lives in a 3-room apartment with his girlfriend, a 26-year-old female, and I've always gotten along with her as far as I'm aware. This would be the first time that she was home during one of our movie marathons, but I didn't mind if she joined us. Like I said, I thought we were good. It was that time of month for me, but I didn't think much about it. I had pads with me, and I had my own bedding at my cousin's place, as well as a towel to sleep on in case of an accident. I usually sleep on the couch in my cousin's office when I go visit, so it's no big deal. The day went great. We decided to watch some Star Trek, and his girlfriend would check in on us from time to time, but stated that she wasn't a fan of sci-fi. The morning after, I was woken up by yelling and quickly got dressed to see what was going on. Turns out that the girlfriend saw some of my used pads in the bathroom trash can and wasn't happy about it. She came at me quite aggressively and asked why I hadn't told her that I was on my period and how gross it was to just throw my pads in the trash. Now, I'm not the most zen person, so I did raise my voice at her, asked her what she was on about, and why it was such a big deal. She started crying, and even though my cousin didn't ask me to, I felt that I should leave. I took an early train home, and now I'm sitting in my apartment getting bombed by messages. I've gotten some harsh texts from my girlfriend's friends and even a couple of family members telling me that I should have told her that I was on my period and I was a jerk for yelling at her and making her cry. I've been known to be pretty ignorant when it comes to social cues and norms, so I might be completely wrong in this, but I wanted to get some opinions from some strangers on the internet before I do any apologizing. So am I the jerk? Update. I talked to my cousin and he explained what happened before I woke up. Apparently his girlfriend had asked him if he knew that I was on my period because she had seen my pads in the trash can. Yes, I wrapped them up before throwing them away. My cousin said something along the lines of, oh, that's why OP hogged all the chocolate. We should have some painkillers if she needs them, but knowing OP, she'll probably have a whole pharmacy with her anyways. This set his girlfriend off apparently. She asked him why he was okay with that and why he was so casual with it. He replied that it's not like it's something weird and unnatural. That's when she started screaming and when I came out. Some more information. Her friends contacted me through Facebook Messenger, so they don't have my number. 2, the trash can had a lid on it. 3, the family members reached out to me about the situation aren't people that I'm very close with. 4, my cousin's at work right now, but he said that he will have a discussion with his girlfriend once he gets home and back to me later. Update 2. First things first, holy cow, I did not expect so many people reading this, and even though I can't read every comment, I really appreciate it. So some of you in the comments already pointed out, But it wasn't really about me having my period. The girlfriend confessed that she was jealous of our movie marathons and she thought it was childish. Apparently, she's also somehow convinced herself that I was hooking up with my cousin in some way, which, ew. Some of her friends pointed out how weird it was for me and my cousin, a man and a woman, to meet up that often and spend the night together. I'm not really sure what she was smoking because, first of all, we're cousins, and second of all, she has met my current girlfriend. Yes, folks, I'm 100% a lesbian. So even though I can admit that my cousin is quite a catch, I'm not interested in that kind of fish. I'm not really sure what she hoped to achieve by bringing my period into it. She and my cousin had a huge fight, and she left to stay with her parents for a little while. My cousin reassured me that our monthly movie marathon nights would continue, but he needed some time to sort himself out and the situation out. P.S. I sent him a link to this post so he could read the comments. Some more information. 1. English is not my first language, so yes, there will be some spelling errors. 2. I get it now that I wasn't a jerk, but I have autism and ADHD. I have made some major mistakes with social cues and norms in the past, and it always makes me really nervous and insecure when people say that I did something wrong. 3. Everyone who sent me a bad message about this situation has been blocked because, unlike them, I don't have time for their nonsense. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, I don't think OP's the jerk. And wow, that explanation. I was just racking my brain like, why on earth would you have to tell someone that you had your period? I've been to people's houses before and I never am like, oh, hey, by the way, I have my period. I'm going to throw my pad in your trash.
Well, then on top of that, it was a trash can with a lid.
Yeah.
So she actually had to go digging into the trash can to see if OP was on her period. So I don't even know how I feel about that at that point in time. I think she's just looking for something to fight about, and that's what it seemed
Yeah.
like from the post. And I
Yeah.
mean, confirmed later, she has some stuff to work through, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a therapist to see.
Well, it's really sad because, OP and her cousin have a very nice, happy friendship. And it's so sad that people are like, oh, well, I know you're literally cousins, but clearly you can't just have a platonic friendship and like watching movies together.
So, I mean, the question is this: why, if OP and their cousin were interested in each other like that, why would they just not have started dating from the start, right? Why would they have to have like some kind of cover story for this, right? So, I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense because if they were in love, madly in love with each other, then I'm sure they would just be together with each other anyways. So, I think that the whole jealousy thing is unfounded here. Also, the fact that OP is a lesbian, I mean, it's like she's not going after your guy.
Yeah. So I definitely think, some therapy to help her work on these jealousy issues might be worthwhile.
But let me know what you folks think. So, anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got a beverage of choice right here. And Amber, she has a jovial Bobstein knock knock joke.
It's not a knock knock joke. What would you get if you crossed a werewolf with a dozen eggs?
Who's there? I'm assuming that a gigantic chicken werewolf is at my door, and that's why it's not answering because it doesn't know how to speak English.
You get a very hairy omelet.
You get a very hairy omelet. Yeah, I guess you would. I guess you would. Probably not an omelet that I would eat. Just saying, I'm not going to eat a hairy omelet.
No, no. I mean, all I can imagine is it's shedding season and the werewolf just happens to sit on your eggs and then.
That would be a bad time. And I have mega mint. And also, if you recall, we said that Amber's book is being released today. So make sure that if you want to check that out, you can check it out. We're gonna post an Amazon affiliate link in the comments below. So, and just to let you know, we do get compensated from that slightly. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday! Congratulations, we made it to the end of the week. I hardly believe it myself. But Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it in the form of a very nervous inspirational quote.
Perhaps you should maybe, and I'm just saying maybe Not wear colors that were expressly forbidden on the invitation if you don't want to be washed out. Just, maybe, maybe.
That's a pretty good, nervous, inspirational quote of sorts. Maybe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.